A little over a year ago, I built a squirrel feeder for a neighbor of mine. The squirrel feeder was unique as in the fact the squirrels have to open the lid, pull the food out, the lid shuts behind them. Essentially a squirrel only feeder. Well, the little rascals, who are named Finn and Fernanda, chewed the lid right off. And they'll do that if you don't keep their feeders full at all times. The squirrels will chew it up. They do it to my feeder as well. I offered to make her a new lid and I wasn't even going to charge her for it, but she wanted a whole new design. Well, that's great, I thought, because this allows me to do something new, get creative, and I didn't use any plans, nothing. I just winged it all the way through, and I think it turned out really cool. My name's Andy, this is EPS Garage, and welcome to the channel. First thing I had to figure out is this is going to be wider, and I didn't want to just put it on a 10-inch tree and it be sticking out awkwardly, so I kind of wanted it to wrap the tree. So I took my angle finder, put it around a tree that's similar size to hers, and kind of got a roundabout angle. In this case, it came out to 25 degrees. First thing I did, I cut the back pieces. That's going to be the piece that's up against the tree. And I went ahead with 12 inches. I'm winging this. I had no idea how big the water bottle was going to be at the time. 12 inches it was. Once I cut those to the 12 inches, I went ahead and set up my table saw. It needs to be 12 and a half to make the 25 degrees for the backing to go around the tree, like I discussed earlier. After cutting the bevels, I wanted to get these together pretty quickly. So I went ahead and used Titebond Quick and Thick. I use this in multiple applications. One, it dries clear and it dries very fast. And I just set the pieces up. I used tape on the back, kind of like doing a 45 degree, getting a 90 degree angle. I pulled it together and then I put tape across. And then I went ahead and used my brad nailer and just shot some brads in it, hold it all together. That way I could continue to work. For the base of this project, I didn't have a piece of cedar wide enough, but I did have some close. So I went ahead and found a couple pieces. I ran the edges through my table saw and I jointed them together. Once I had the platform area figured out, I could go ahead and figure out how I was going to add how big my sides for the box was going to be. The box is going to hold the feed. So I could kind of set it up and see what I needed to do there. On the boxes, I went ahead with the sides being 6 inches tall, 3.5 inches long. That left me plenty of space on the rest of the platform where the squirrels could walk and stand. Next step is the lid needs to be at a slope. You want them to open it and it fall back. Not to mention you want water to run off of it and all that stuff. Once I figured out what the box sides were going to be, I was able to figure out my lid, the length and the width. I wanted the lid to be about 1/4 inch overhang all the way around it, 1 for water displacement, and 2 so the squirrels can grab it and lift it up to pull their food out. In order to make the lid set flush against the backing, I went ahead and cut a 15 degree bevel on the back of the lid as well, so it'll set nice and flush against the back. I really like these projects where there's no plans and you're kind of winging it. In my opinion, it's a lot of fun. I don't normally do this on big projects where there's a lot of expense involved. However, I already had this cedar that I'm utilizing and I'm able to get creative with it. That's what it's all about, getting creative. The feeder is going to have a plexiglass front so you can see all the food and how much food's in there. Squirrels, I guess maybe it helps them see it, I don't know. We got to cut a groove in the front in order for the plexiglass to slide in. So the way I do that is I just set my table saw height about halfway the thickness of the board, and then I went ahead a good 1/4 inch, maybe more in, because you don't want it too thin on the outside, because again the squirrels will chew on it, they'll pull that off and they'll just pull the plexiglass out and there goes your feeder. You got to redo the sides. At this point, I have all my pieces cut. I went ahead and sanded everything. It's a lot easier once it's apart before you assemble it. I just used 80 grit. I'm not going to be doing anything crazy with this outdoor project. I didn't mean to, but man, I got that grain to line up really cool. Didn't even mean to do that. What does Bob Ross say? Happy accidents? Now I used the back piece that have the 25 degree angle on it to set on my platform. and line it up, and then I was going to use it as a template to find my angle, and then I just cut that with my jigsaw. The fit up really did work out great, no issues. Once I got that figured out, using Tight Bond 2, my brad nailer, I just put it all together. It went together very well. There's nothing to it. Last feeder I made like this, the squirrels chewed the lid right off. I wanted to add some anti-chewing, and I thought maybe adding some brass corner pieces might help. We'll see. If not, Kristen, I'll make you another lid. Don't worry about it. Just tell me if they chew it off. This water bottle was designed for a rodent cage. I had to make this work for that. What I did is I chiseled out slots for the holder to go into the backing piece, and then I used some epoxy. And then for the top, for the spring, I added 2 nails where the spring could go over them, and then I used some heat. I bent the nails so they can't come off. I think it worked out great. Hey, for winging it, I think it turned out pretty cool. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Hopefully Kristen sends me some pictures of the squirrels using this. I look forward to that. I hope y'all are staying safe, having a lot of fun making projects. I'll see you around. Andy out.